Unmute.
Was that the issue, the whole thing?
That was the issue. Okay, we should be good now. Are we good now? Hopefully we're good now. It says it's registering that it's working, and hopefully that is the case. If you can hear me, comment and let me know, yay, we can hear you. You seen anybody saying?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, we're good. All right. Audio's working. Apologies on that little technical hiccup. Let us know where you're watching from. Go ahead and leave a comment on that one, and make sure to like this video. If you can share it, that'd be amazing as well. But go ahead and like it, the comments, the shares, all that stuff. Lets Facebook and YouTube know, hey, this is a cool video. Other people should see this. And that's how the message about this gets out there. So I'm broadcasting live from Provo, Utah. Again, I'm Daniel Harmon. You didn't hear that first part of it. I am the showrunner and the creator of this TV series, and super happy to have you here for a big announcement that'll be coming up a little bit later. And we'll let a few more people come in before we get into that, but we'll probably just revisit that announcement over and over again, right? Should we just get it right out the gate? Let's get out the right gate. Okay, so the big announcement is ever since, well, just a little bit of history first. When we first got the pilot episode funded, that was all through private investment. That's how we were able to show you the animatic that many of you saw. When you invested, then we opened it up for a round of crowdfunding for $1,070,000, and that all of you made that possible. You were able to invest and help us get that off the ground. That meant we had 4 episodes that were ready to go. We've had some other private investors who have gotten involved since then, and now we've greenlit episodes 5 and 6, which gets us halfway to a full season. Full season being 12 episodes. Now, when we raised the money last fall and became the number one crowdfunded kids show in U.S. history, again, that was $1,070,000. That was actually limited not by a number we put there. It was actually a regulation by the SEC, or the Security and Exchange Commission. So that's all that we were allowed to raise, was $1,070,000. We needed more than that to do an entire first season of the show, but that's what we could do at the time. And so since then, there's been a change in the regulation to where we're not limited anymore to that $1 million, that $1,070,000 that we did last fall. That's now been expanded to where we can do up to $5 million. Now, we don't need all that $5 million, but we're announcing today that we're once again opening up investment in Tuttle Twins, the TV show, for you to be able to invest and help make this happen. So if you go to TuttleTwins.tv, that is where you can invest. And again, the round is opened up again. We've already raised something in the neighborhood of, I think last I checked, it was about $20,000 that we'd already raised, and we just opened this up just a few hours ago. So that's really cool to see. A lot of demand, 21,000. So a lot of people have expressed interest since that round of funding closed, really wanted to get in on it. They weren't able to at the time, either because they didn't have the finances at the time, or just a timing issue, or maybe they didn't even learn about it until after the fact. And again, we're live, so we're near a busy street here, so you'll hear a cop car go by occasionally or something like that. You're hearing that right now. Well, in this case, it is a fire truck. That's what's happening right now. I would flip the camera around, but that would kind of mess everything up. Pausing for fire truck. And praying that whoever that is okay, or whoever's that is. Oh man, they're stopping right across the street there. Luckily, they're. Oh yeah, I think there's a wreck right out there. Sorry about that. Whoa, tangent. Okay, so let's go back into this. So again, we're opening this up for fundraising. TuttleTwins.tv is where you can go and you can invest in this show. And yeah, we're hoping to raise a good chunk of change this time. It's actually $2.7 million is what we're really going for. We have a minimum setup of $500,000, but that will finish out our entire first season to get us to 12 episodes, and that will be amazing. We really think we can make that happen. So let's call out some people that have invested recently. Aram from New Hampshire invested $1,000. Thank you, Aram. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, Aaron, but that's amazing. Brandon from Washington invested 150. Thank you, Brandon. That's awesome. Any others coming up?
Yeah, someone's asking how to invest.
Oh, how do you invest? TuttleTwins.tv. If you go to TuttleTwins.tv, you can go there. I think there's an option to do it through your bank account. I think there might even be an option for a credit card now. Is that what I've heard? I don't know if a credit card isn't allowed, but I know that you can do it through your bank account. Michael from Colorado invested 500. Thank you, Michael. That's awesome. I really appreciate the support. But anyway, you guys are the ones making this all possible. So I'm super excited about that. Eugene from Utah invested 1,000. Thank you, Eugene. That's awesome. So again, there was a lot of people that didn't get in on the last round of investment. They really wanted to, and we're opening that back up for you to be able to do that. So that's the first big announcement. We have some other things that are going to happen here. Right now, we're sitting at about 73 viewers. We want that to climb above, should we say 90? Okay, let's go higher. You want to go to 100? Is that the bonus? Okay. All right, so Jared's telling me if we want to unlock the next clip of animation for you to be able to see, we're going to need to get to 100. In fact, there's a couple things we would like to unlock. One of them, let's put one of them at 90 and one of them at 100, okay? So we'll unlock one of those if we get to 90 viewers. So just keep sharing, keep commenting, that kind of stuff, liking. That's all going to get this out there. So if we can get to 90 viewers, we're going to unlock the next clip of an animatic from our episode about the Golden Rule. So we'll show you, how long is that one? That's like a minute or two long.
2 minutes. Yeah.
It's about 2 minutes long. So we can show you next clip of another animatic coming up. So that'll be really cool. And if we get to 100, then we'll even show you some more animation clips from episode 1, some finished animation. So that'll be really awesome. Okay, so Adam from Texas invested 1,000. Thank you, Adam. That's awesome. Okay, so let's go through our agenda a little bit. I think I've covered the big announcement, but the stuff coming up to be able to watch is a little bit of the animatic and a little bit of the finished animation, depending on where we get to with our goals. So let's talk. Here it is. Let's talk a little bit about some design stuff that we did. So some of you saw on our Facebook page or on our Instagram. I don't even know. We even put it on YouTube. But we have been going back and forth with you guys and getting input on the design, the character design for Dad. Dad's really an important part for us to get right because we want to portray a really strong family. We don't feel like a lot of that happens in kids media, specifically a lot of it in like cartoons and things like that. There's a lot of times when Dad is either portrayed as a doofus or as well, usually it's a doofus or some sort of a jerk or something along those lines, and we don't want Mr. Tuttle to be anything like that. We want him to be just a good, strong father figure with a good relationship with his wife and a good relationship with Ethan and Emily. And so we've been tossing out different designs, and you guys have seen some of that. You've given us a lot of input, and so we've landed on a design that we finally are feeling really good about going forward, and so we're going to share that right now. You have that to put up there? Cool. Okay, so here it is. This is what Dad's going to look like. So what you're seeing there in all the little different faces in animation, you have to come up with these different mouth charts or expression charts. And those are the way that a character's mouth moves when they use different vowels like E, A, O, U, so that the animators know what this person's going to look like as he talks, or what kind of expression he's going to have when he's happy or when he's angry or when he's scared or any of those kinds of things. So there's Dad. There's Mr. Tuttle. That's the final design that we've landed on. So thank you so much for all your input on that. And we're feeling really good about him going forward. And he's going to play a nice little role in our episode about the Golden Rule. So you have that to look forward to. Also, we've got some design things coming up for some background stuff. Is that what's next? Okay, call it a couple more investors first. Okay, who else have we got here? David from Idaho. Go Idaho. I'm from Burley, Idaho. So originally, $250. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. Who else have we got coming in now? Just waiting on the next investment. It could be you. It could be you. Michael from, is that Mississippi? $160. Is that MS? Is that Mississippi? Okay, cool. I don't know all my postal codes perfectly. I haven't had to necessarily mail letters recently to a lot of different states, so I don't know that one. Oh, someone has a question about investing. Okay, quick question. Is this round ending when you reach the target? Any timeline? I'm traveling and will not be able to do anything until next Monday. Okay, great questions. When we reach the minimum of $500,000, the round will not end. It will continue beyond that. It will go and fill up all the way up to 2.7 million, I think is where we're landing. And the timeline on that is 36 days or whenever the funds come in. So if we get to 2.7 million by Monday, which would be incredible, which I don't necessarily think it'll be by next Monday, but based on the way the last fundraising round went, it will be faster than the deadline that we've set of like 36 days. So you will have time to invest if you need to wait until you get home next Monday. I think you should be hopefully in good shape, but you might want to just check back at TuttleTwins.tv and ensure that that's in a good spot. So that's a great question. Any other questions that you have, we'll answer those a little bit later. Make sure to put those in the comments. Again, remember to like and share as well so that we can continue to get this viewed by more people. Okay, next, Todd from Utah, $250. Awesome, Todd, appreciate that. Okay, we want to go into some designs. Okay, let's look at a few more design things that we've been working on that are pretty exciting. Okay, all right, so there's an appearance by Nikola Tesla in one of these episodes. It's just a brief kind of cameo type thing, but anyway, there's his character, and he's got this pigeon. Nikola Tesla was actually known for having, I think, a little pet pigeon of some kind, or multiple pet pigeons. But anyway, that's one of the characters that we have coming up. And the next one, okay. These are different color explorations and concept designs for a character named Zuzu that they're going to go back in time and visit. So that's a fun little one. Oh yeah, well, go ahead and comment if you have a preferred color here. I already know which my preferred is, but we'll see if it lines up with mine. So you can just put Zuzu, and then you can put either 1, 2, 3, or 4. Alrighty. All right. The Tuttles are going to visit a magical ice cream land. And that is in the episode about the miraculous pencil. They're going to go on a little bit of a journey where they're going to meet the Queen, I think it's actually Chief Vanilla Bean, and then Coniferous, the people of the cone. So just a little bit of a tease there about some characters that they're going to be running into, but those are some fun ones coming up. So hopefully your kids really like those. I like them. And we're going to show that whole, oh my gosh, teaser. Next week, we showed this entire animatic to you guys. So an entire episode of the animatic coming up next week. So that's going to be really cool on the live stream. So, all right, next. Okay, so here's some color explorations that we've looked into because the Tuttle Twins are going back to visit Adam Smith in Scotland. And this is to learn about the miraculous pencil and the role that the invisible hand plays in free markets and free trade. And so this is some of the color exploration that our director has been doing here of kind of the looks of what Scotland might be like. And then this was kind of the line art for a big view of a landscape in Scotland. And then further along, we developed it with some shadows and some contrast and some things like that. And then now here it's coming along to the final coloring. So this is going to be kind of a cool place that the Tuttles go back and visit. Man, that looks so sweet. Every time I look at it, I'm like, that's so awesome. Still not 100% finished, but it's looking really good. Okay, Yasmin from California invested $150. Thank you, Yasmin. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but hopefully, but it sounds like it might be. Okay, so here's a tavern or pub, or let's just say it's an establishment that serves things, where the Tuttles are going to go. I promise it's not going to get crazy or anything like that. But they're going to go back in Scotland. This is kind of the line art that was done for that tavern. And oh, Amy from Texas invested $880. Thank you, Amy. Again, TuttleTwins.tv is where you can go to invest. Now we started to add some dimension here, some shadows and some things like that. And then this is kind of what it's close to what the final will look like once we've been adding in the different color and stuff. So it looks pretty sweet. All right, and here's the outside of the tavern there in Scotland, which is pretty cool. Kevin from Virginia invested $150. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at another one, Jared, here. Oh, Coy from Washington invested $150. Thank you, Coy. All right, so here is some different development stuff for what's called a prop. So something that a character holds. In this case, it is a little bit of a Pringles can. That's actually going to change a little bit because I don't think we can actually use Pringles name with that. Well, we probably could. We probably wouldn't get in trouble, but still, we're not doing anything that's negative towards it. But yeah, that's the idea. That's kind of the road this is headed down. Some other little props that are going to come into play. And here's some pencils that Derek might have something to do with a little bit later. And some crayons. And some different signs that a bully puts on a certain person's back. All right, and here's Emily mourning the loss of something that I will not reveal. Here's a stick that Ethan will be playing around with. And then here's another environment where they're going to go see how the logging is done for the wood that is needed to make a pencil, and the miraculous pencil. And here's a little prop that belongs to the wheelchair, and I'm not going to give away too much about that. But anyway, there are some cool little design things that we're working on. So hopefully you guys enjoyed those. Again, TuttleTwins.tv if you're wanting to invest. The big announcement, if you missed it already, is that we're opening up the show again once again for investment to finish out season 1, the remaining 6 episodes that we need to do, and we really appreciate your support in all this. Okay. Okay, gonna take some questions. Okay, we've got some comments coming in with some questions. We'll go ahead and field some of those, and then we'll push on to some other things. Okay, we were really close on that, on the number of people watching here. Okay, what do we have? First question. Ryan from Utah invested $150. Thank you, Ryan. Question coming up?
Yeah.
Okay, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notifications. Yes, thank you. That wasn't a question, that was a statement or a call to action, but I do appreciate that. So yes, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel already, make sure and hit the subscribe button and then hit the little bell so that you'll get notifications when we release a new video. If you're not already following the Tuttle Twins Facebook page, Tuttle Twins TV Facebook page, make sure and go ahead and do that. When will the second round end? Okay, so it ends in 36 days. That's when it ends. So we have, I think it's right there on TuttleTwins.tv. It's plainly visible that there's 36 days left for this. I don't know what that exact date is, but it is probably, maybe some people are checking because that's when a paycheck comes in or something along those lines. But we'll look that up for you. When we get to 500 concurrent viewers, Daniel's going to recite every HB commercial from memory. That's a little bit of an inside joke for people that don't know. I am also Chief Creative Officer of an ad agency called Harmon Brothers. So HB stands for Harmon Brothers. And yes, I've created a lot of ads and helped create a lot of different ads. And I'll recite them all from memory if we get to 500. Sure, I'll do my best if we get to 500 concurrent viewers. But for now, let's just cross 80. Let's cross 80 and then 90, and then we can unlock some really cool stuff. So keep sharing, keep liking, and that would be fantastic. Okay, what's happening with merch? Great question. So merchandise, we are in the process of getting some t-shirt designs finalized, and we're also on the second prototype of a plush or a stuffed animal for Derek. So that's kind of what's going on with merch right now. A lot of the merchandising will depend on kind of reaction to the show, meaning once we get the full episodes out there with the full animation and we can see what people are reacting to and really loving, then we'll kind of that'll help guide us in being able to know what sorts of toys, what sort of products and things like that should we do. But right now we're focusing a little bit more on the stuffed animal for Derek and some different t-shirt designs, and then I think coming up we'll be doing some maybe different school supplies or things like that. But yes, merchandise is very much at the top of mind. But right now, we've just got to get some episodes finished up and out to you guys. Okay? Any other questions?
Not
Okay, no other questions. Okay, so do we have some other designs to look at? Okay, here's another one. Oh, are there Tuttle Twins books that inspired these cartoons? Yes, there are. Oh, wow. So Adam, if you are not familiar with the Tuttle Twins books that inspired these cartoons, well, here are some of them. So for example, the very first episode is based on the book called The Law, authored by Connor Boyack and illustrated by Elijah Stanfield. So that's really cool. So we got that one in episode 1. And then the principles is what we're covering. It's not so much following the stories directly. In some cases it is, in some cases it's not. In this case, we don't follow the story very closely. It's much more about the principles in this one. Actually, we do follow it to some degree. Both yes and no. So the miraculous pencil, this is all about free trade. We've got that one coming up. The golden rule, again, follows several elements of the story in this one as well. Food truck fiasco, we've got that one coming up. And a creature from Jekyll Island, this is all about money printing and the Federal Reserve and those kinds of things. And spectacular show business, which is about entrepreneurship. So all these principles of what we're covering in these first 6 episodes that have already been greenlit. And this is just the beginning. I mean, I think there's this is 6 books, and I think there's another 6. If it's not, yes, it is another 6, or they're about to release the 12th. I can't remember if they're on 11, 12. But anyway, there's a whole bunch of other books. And if you haven't checked those out, you should. I think it's the TuttleTwins.com is where you would find those. And yeah, you should totally get those for your kids. I've had them all for my kids for a long time. They love reading them. And anyway, that's the reason I'm wanting to make this show. So yes, you should for sure check out the books, because I think they go into even a little bit more detail about some of the intricacies and things of these different principles than maybe what we're able to do in a show that is where these books, I think, are primarily focused on the education side of things. We're making the show so that it will work first and foremost as entertainment that your kids just want to watch, that they'll pick it over things like Disney Plus or Netflix or YouTube, that they'll want to watch it just as entertainment, as a story, as characters that they connect with, and then that they'll get those principles along the way as well. But I would definitely say you're going to want both, to watch the show as well as to get those books for your kids. Updates on what was that last one? Okay, updates on the theme song. Wow, no updates on the theme song. We do have a composer, and we've got a very skilled composer in place that's working on the show, but no updates on the theme song as of yet. I know a lot of people are really anxious to see that come out, but that probably won't even be done with the first episode. That'll probably come later with episodes 2, 3, and 4, and so on. Okay, next question. Will you guys allow fans to be radio phone voices in the later seasons and episodes? So that all depends. I believe we actually have, it's in the investment, one of our, what do they call it, perks, or one of the perks of investing, depending on the tier that you invest at, is that you can actually have a character in the show made based on your image, based on you, that we can have one of our character designers take a photo of you and make a character that's based on you. And that can be pretty cool. And you can be integrated right into the show, depending on the investment level. I don't remember what that amount is. It's a larger amount, because that's obviously comes with some expense and coordination, different things like that. But for people that really want to find their way into the show, that's one of the best ways, is to actually have their likeness or their image made into a cartoon and put inside an episode of the show. Maybe even multiple episodes, but for sure in one episode, you'll be a character in the background or in some place where you can see that happen. So that's a great question. And as far as the voices go, that just all depends on auditions. When we need a new character, a new voice, we'll sometimes call out for auditions, and we're just gonna get a voice that fits each character. So it's not gonna be about like, oh, this is a fan, so we need to put a voice in. Right now, we don't have any plans for that, but for sure, if you're a voice actor or if you just feel like you would do a good voice for the story, then by all means, submit an audition when you see any of those come through. Usually we're posting about when we have needs for that. We're posting on our Facebook page or maybe on Instagram. Okay, our episodes 5 and 6 in the process. They are. So episodes 5 and 6 kicked off last week. It was on Friday of last week. We're doing the outline of the story so on Friday of last week, we met as a team with Connor Boyack, one of our executive producers and who authored the books, and we talked about the principles of The Creature from Jekyll Island, again, about money printing in the Federal Reserve, and about the food truck fiasco and how sometimes regulations that are put or barriers to entry that are put on businesses aren't always there to serve the customer. Sometimes they're there to protect other businesses who don't want competitors to get involved. So we talked about those principles extensively in a meeting last Friday with the writers. We established what principles we're going to go with for these 2 episodes. And then we kind of talked about story concepts that we could work with. Now that all the writers have that, they're coming back this Friday with an outline for episode 5 for the food truck fiasco. And they are going to be developing that at that point. So Friday's an all-day writing session, and that's going to be really cool because out of that, we will create one of these, which is a storybook or a PDF format that we'll share with some of you on like Facebook and stuff to get feedback on. So this is where we've taken the story, and it's not a full script form, but we've made it into a storybook to better get feedback from kids and to see how the story's working. And we're going to do that with episode 5, just like we have with all the others. And that's an important process for us to whittle down and find the best content possible for these shows. So at every step of the process, we kind of do this where we get feedback from different people and try to make sure we're coming up with as good of quality as possible. We want this to be a really good investment for you guys. Okay. Investment question. Do we register even if we invested before via VidAngel? I'm assuming that means registering on the site. I don't know the answer to that because obviously it's now Angel Studios that is hosting. That's the portal that this investment goes through. I believe that already works. I don't know the answer to that right off the bat. It should be the same portal though, right? They should be able to use it. So if you invested before, it should be the same portal. You should be able to log in the same way you did before when it was VidAngel Studios before. And you should be able to just invest all over again if you're wanting to help out with that, and that would be amazing. So great question. Hopefully that answers it. Okay, what do we got here? Todd from Utah invested $250. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate that. Let me get a little drink of water for 1 second here, guys. My mouth gets dried out when I do a lot of talking. James from Georgia invested $200. Thank you, James. That's awesome. And then, that's it? Okay. Okay, we'll take a few more questions later. Go ahead and leave those in the comments. We have not actually unlocked anything. We haven't passed the 90 mark and we haven't passed the 100 mark. So I don't think we'll be showing more content today. I think everyone's going to be really mad at me. Is there anything else that we were going to show today?
We're going to show the 3D.
Oh yeah, this is a really cool thing. We've got some 3D models to show you of the Tuttle Twins bedroom. What else do we have?
Car.
Oh, the car. Yeah, there's a van that they're going to be driving in. We've got a 3D model for that. What's cool about that is even though this is a 2D animated cartoon, building out 3D models provides some advantages, especially for places where we're going to have several scenes. Someplace like the Tuttle Twins bedroom is where a lot of scenes are going to take place. We're actually building out a 3D model of their whole house so that we can consistently come back to that and kind of just pick an angle and draw and trace on it. And it's kind of a cool thing. The same thing with the van. We've made a 3D model of that, and there's some other 3D model things that we've got coming up. So we'll show a little bit of a 3D model. Here we go, starting to screen share. Jared's running this, so I just have confidence this is going to work. There's also a way of me kind of pushing blame off in the event that it doesn't go right. I wasn't me. I didn't do it. Okay, 3D model. Okay. Jumping in. And loading. Sweet. Is that working?
Yep.
Cool. All right, let's take a look at this van. Ooh. So here's the Tuttle Twins van. Let's go ahead and we got different things that we can do right with this, right?
Yeah.
We can turn this off and on. Oh, make the wheels go away.
Figured these out earlier.
Is it like color stuff? There's the wheels again. Ooh, like the different trim and that kind of stuff can be kind of pulled away. Let's see a view of the back. Ooh, there it goes. Now we can peel it back and actually see the characters inside. Anyway, 3D models are pretty cool. So what's cool about this is the guy that built this 3D model out actually used to work for Walt Disney Animation. He just contacted us and reached out after he saw our last fundraiser and said, hey, I want to be involved in some way. And we got him involved. He used to build out these kind of 3D environments all the time for Disney, and now he's doing it for us. So this is pretty cool. You can see here inside the dashboard, and this is not what it actually looks like in the final video. This is more, it gives us basically the model to work with so that when the artists go in and draw, they know exactly what view they're looking at. And it just makes it so you can be a lot more precise when you're dealing with something like this. But we do have the option. There are going to be a couple of shots where we actually see the van move in 3D, and that'll be kind of cool. It'll use what's called a toon shader, so it won't look like this, but this still gives you an idea of the model that he built out, which is really cool. And that's based on a design from one of our prop artists. Okay, and here's another one. This is the house, right? Okay, so this is kind of an overview of the Tuttle's house. So we're going to zoom in and we're going to take a look at hopefully their bedroom. Or is that another one you have to pull up? Okay, we're going to go into the living room a little bit here. Here we go. So 3D model of the house. So you can see there's like a couch, sofa, TV, some pictures on the wall. And you can kind of see your way back into the kitchen a little bit there. Sorry for like the glitchy back and forth, but that's kind of what we're dealing with this little thing on this live stream.
Yeah, it just has too much to render.
Too much to render. Okay, so should we jump over to the room? There's Mom. She's not in 3D, but she was just kind of thrown in there as an example. And then let's go over here to Ethan and Emily's bedroom. Zoom in on this. Here we go. So this is flying into their bedroom. And this is kind of what the size they'll be when they're in there. It's a little bit too much to render. You can kind of come back out. Can we get a little bit further back out? It's kind of unruly, isn't it? But anyway, what this does is it makes it so we can pick any angle and the artist can kind of trace and be like, okay, that's what this camera angle is going to be. And then we know that's the environment they're going to be in, and we can consistently kind of come back to the same places over and over again. And when it renders correctly, there's all sorts of details on the walls and all these types of things that are there available. But right now it's having some trouble since we're running the live stream at the same time. It's just a little bit too much going on for this computer, I guess. Cool. Well, there's some of the 3D work that's going on to help develop this show. So that's kind of a fun thing to see behind the scenes. And doesn't look like we're going to get to the total viewer amount, but that's okay. I still think we should show one of these, even though we said we needed to get to the. Let's not do them both. Which one should we do? Let's let them vote. Do you guys want to see 2 minutes of a new animatic, or do you want to see how many seconds of it?
25 seconds.
25 seconds of finished animation from episode 1. You can vote. Which one do you want to do? We're not going to do both. Didn't quite get to enough viewers, but we'll go ahead and just give you a consolation prize for just being here and supporting. What do we got? What's everybody saying?
It'll take about 10 seconds. But
Okay. Okay. Oh, we got. In the meantime, I'll kind of take this new comment here. Let me grab this. So coming right up, either animation, finished animation for episode 1, or animatic for our episode on the golden rule. Okay, what was that one there? Oh, Jason from Missouri invested $2,640. Wow, Jason, thank you so much. That's amazing. Everyone says more animation? Yep. No more animatic? Okay, fine. We'll do animation then. We'll do the animation. Okay, next week, again, we'll show an entire animatic. That'll be the big thing that we do next week on the live stream. So tune into that, an entire episode of the animatic, and that'll be a lot of fun. Okay. Let's start with the space. So let's start from the beginning. So we're going to go. The first little clip. We might show it again if you stick around, but we'll show one more right now.
Lemonade! Get your lemonade! Just 96 calories per serving. Sugar! Just 1,096 calories per serving. I'll have one. Here you go, Copernicus. Ooh, oranges!
Okay, there's one more animation clip. I'm guessing everyone wants to see them again. Okay, we'll just go ahead and repeat that one more time.
Emily, remind me why we're on this death trap again! You know, I have a weakness for science, Ethan! And I have a weakness for not dying! I don't think we're gonna make it!
And on to the next one.
Lemonade! Get your lemonade! Just 96 calories per serving. Sugar! Just 1,096 calories per serving. I'll have one. Here you go, Copernicus. Ooh, oranges!
Awesome. Okay, there it is. There's some more finished animation for your enjoyment. Make sure next week that when you join us on the live stream, we are again going to be watching all of an animatic for the episode on the Miraculous Pencil. So tune in for that. And then the week following on the live stream, we will actually be having Connor Boyack join us, the author of the books. So that'll be really cool. So we'll be able to ask him some questions, get some of his insights to this process, and that'll be a fun one. So any other questions, last minute questions before we go, hit us up in the comments. Are these the official voices? The correct answer is mostly. most of those voices are the official ones. They're not perfectly tuned and everything like that. That's going to be a process that comes with the sound design as a last step. That's the animation that we have there. So, but there might be one or two voices that still kind of change. All right, next. That's the last question? Sure. Cool. Thank you all for joining us. It was a lot of fun to have you on again. TuttleTwins.tv, spread the word. Let everybody know we're back open for investment. We're going to make this thing happen a full season, and we'll see